Have you ever wanted to take yourself to the next level? You have so many passions and so many things that drive you and so many things you want to accomplish in your life, and sometimes it can just feel overwhelming. Have you wanted to take those passions and turn them into something tangible, something that you can actually see the fruit of your labor? If you do, stay to the end of this video so that you can see everything that I have to share with you today. Because today we're going to take your passions and make them actionable goals so that you can find your purpose. SMART goals kind of suck. And what I mean by that is they're not bad all by themselves. SMART goals are very useful. Now, a SMART goal stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART. Kind of catchy. Helps you take something that you're planning to do and make it to where you can actually accomplish because you have a plan for it to become reality. But there's one flaw that SMART goals have that's rarely ever talked about. There's an assumption you have to make while you're making SMART goals, and it's this. To have and make SMART goals, I must first know the direction I am going. And you might be thinking, John, isn't that just obvious? Well, maybe, but not everybody thinks about that. Vision is often assumed. If you work for an organization of any size, they might have you make SMART goals. They might tell you to write it down. They might tell you to plan it out, but you don't always know how that connects to the bigger vision. So how can you take your vision, also known as passion, and turn it into something tangible? First, to know your passion, you have an idea. Something that has been stirring in your heart, in your mind, something that has been really just eating at you, maybe. So maybe your idea is, I want to start my own business. I want to be an entrepreneur. So let's say, start my own business. That's your idea. But how are you going to identify what business to start, where to go, what your next step should be? You have this great idea. You have a vision. You want to start your own business, and you might even know your whys. I'm going to start my own business so that I can be independent, so I can provide for my family, so I can leave a legacy, or whatever your idea is for your own business, the why behind it. To identify where to go next, you then have to break down your passion. Everyone has passions, things that they love to do, things that drive them. To identify your idea the best way, you have to identify your passions. Okay, so let's continue forward. Let's say maybe I have a passion in music. Got to brainstorm a little bit. I have a passion in music. Maybe I have a passion in writing. And maybe I have a passion in woodworking. Where do you go from here? You know your passion. You know what drives you, the things that you just absolutely adore, but it's still not actionable yet. So what's the next step? Well, you've got to take these passions and break them down between your likes and your loves. So how do you identify the things that you like and the things that you love? Well, it's as simple as this. Your likes are things that drive you, things that bring you joy, and things that maybe bring personal satisfaction. So the things that drive you, you enjoy and bring you personal satisfaction. So what about your loves then? Well, your loves go a little bit deeper. Not only do they have all of the same things, they drive you, they bring you joy, they bring you personal satisfaction, but they are those things that you would also be willing to give away for free. The things that you can see yourself doing for 30 plus years. So, retirement potential, and it's the things you can do every single day. So, your likes drive you, bring you joy, bring you personal satisfaction. But your loves drive you, bring you joy, personal satisfaction. You'd be willing to give them away for free. They have retirement potential. That's for the next 30 years of your life. And I use that as a general framework, 30 years, because if I'm willing to do it for 30 years, then I'm pretty sure that I can make money off of it. You can make money off of anything. And you could do these every single day. Now, let's just say for our situation, we've categorized music as a like. We've categorized writing as a like. And so we've decided, you know what? I love to make stuff, and I'm willing to give this stuff away for free. Woodworking is my love. All right, so then what do we do? So we've identified the woodworking. As our love. Well, from there, we have to think, what do I need to get me started? Once you answer this question, this is again a simple brainstorming. So let's say for getting started, we need tools. We need wood, since you're going to do woodworking. You need blueprints or plans. Right? And maybe you need some jigs. And then you can brainstorm from there, but you have tools, wood, plans, jigs. So those are things that you need to get started. And this list is not comprehensive. I mean, you'll probably need more things to get started. You don't want to say, oh, what do I need to get started? Oh, I need an online store. Because that's not what you need to get started. There's some learning that you have to do. There's some crafting that you have to do. So maybe practice is one of the things you need to get started. You got to practice. You need to take the time to learn different techniques on woodworking and different skills, and you need to hone your skills. So maybe that's one of the things you need to get started. And then from there, of the things that I need to get started to do this woodworking business, you're going to need to answer this question. What do I have already? What do I have already? So let's say you've already got tools. Let's say you already have wood. This is your hobby, right? It's something you're passionate about. Let's say one of the things that you needed to get started was time, and you have time to work on it that you can allocate. You have skills. You have knowledge. Those are some of the things that you've already got. Tools, time, you've got wood, skills, and knowledge. So then you can do a gap analysis and say, well, this is what I need to get started down here. This is what I already have. So how do I bridge the gap? What are the things I need to get in order to get started? And that's just as simple as I know what I need to get started. I know what I have. What I don't have, I get. So maybe you need more practice. Maybe you need more time to take more time to practice your knowledge and skills. Okay? So you have these things, but you have to turn that into practice. You've got to bridge that gap. So now you've solidified your vision. You're no longer just trying to take some kind of SMART goal and connect it to some giant broad vision that maybe is hard to do. Now you've done it step by step and accomplished so much. And maybe by the time you get to this point, you're like, maybe the thing I thought that I loved isn't actually my love. Maybe the one that I really love is writing. And so now you can pivot from woodworking to writing because you've taken the time to lay it all out. So now is the moment you're all probably waiting for, the SMART goals. You see how I've waited to do SMART goals till the end? So we say we need practice. So how can we make it specific to our idea? We need practice. Our goal also needs to be specific to what we don't have. We need practice in woodworking, and it needs to be measurable. So we're going to say, maybe we'll practice this many hours a week. And we'll say achievable. Well, can I practice that many hours a week? Do I have that extra time during the week with my current schedule to make it happen? Relevant. Is it relevant to the vision? Is it relevant to the vision? And see, this is why it's so important to map out your vision so you can get to this point. Without knowing your vision and mapping it out, how are you going to make your goals relevant to it? And is it time bound? So now we can write our goal, and maybe it'll sound something like this. I will, you want to use very strong language here, will practice woodworking techniques for 10 hours per week to reduce my number of defects to 1 out of every 10 cutting boards by, let's just say, December 31st of 24. All right. That seems like a long sentence, but this is how we're going to break it down. I will practice woodworking techniques. It's very specific to what kind of practice you're going to do, and it's directly related to your passion of woodworking for 10 hours per week. Well, that's your measurable portion. There's 2 measurements actually in this goal, but your other measurable is 1 out of every 10 cutting boards. Is it achievable? Can you actually take 10 hours per week? Can you reduce it from 7 out of 10 to 1 out of 10 by December 31st? Well, right now it's September, so that gives you months to practice. I would say, yeah, that's pretty achievable. And here's the kicker. Here's the most important one. Is it relevant to your idea? Yes. Why? Because if you have defects in your products, you're going to have to go through a lot of headaches in order to fix that problem for your customers. So you've made it relevant to your vision of starting your own small business around woodworking, and it's time bound. You have to have these amount of hours per week covered by December 31st, 2024. So now you can see we've gone from start to finish. And we have a framework that has gotten us there. We've taken our idea or our vision and identified our passion, and we have worked our way through the different techniques to turn it into purpose. Now you have a direction to walk. But maybe you're not quite at this point and you're having some trouble getting up and getting motivated to go. And if that's the case, go ahead and watch this video here. Go on. I'll wait. What are you still doing here? Go click the video. Watch it.